Yeah, I think know your market. So whether that's tech, finance, whatever it might be, just like have a good understanding of, who are the big players. If it's the technology stack, the tech stack's actually trying to understand them. So when you're able to have client calls and candidate calls, you're able to understand them too, and kind of knowing about. So like I specifically done Munich, for instance. So that was my niche. So knowing that market in general, as I said, knowing the big players, where the funding comes from, who are the key companies, who are the small companies, who are the big companies, and yeah, just like knowing that community of like your candidate community and your client community. And you're only going to know that through experience and speaking with more and more people. So knowing that market in general, although it sounds very vague, but
no, I get what you mean. Yeah, just really commit to being an expert in understanding the nuances, what's going on. Yeah.
So in a nutshell, niching out so that you're an expert in one specific area or technology or industry, whatever it might be. I would say again, play the long game. When I started out doing perm, I was just looking for short wins. Because at that time we just had to keep the lights on and make sure we're making money. So I didn't think long term. So like actually thinking long term and building relationships, and if someone is not looking now, asking them what would you be looking for when you are looking, so that you've already got a good amount of knowledge and you know already what they will be looking for, so that if someone does come up, you can still send them to them and you've built some sort of foundation. So playing the long game and building relationships and making sure you're staying in touch with these people. So like, dropping them a LinkedIn connection, dropping them an email with a little bit about what you guys do, although they're not looking right now, speaking with them in a few weeks or a few months, and then just keeping in touch. Also, I would say add value. Like whatever you do, try to add value, whether you're speaking to a candidate or a client, and it doesn't have to be in your interest. They don't have to be hiring or looking for a job. If you see something on the CV that you can, give them some advice on, do that. If you can give them some insight on the market, do that. If you can tell them about, give them some tips on hiring, do that. So like, add value in whatever you do, and whoever you speak to, just aim to leave that call with adding value, because that's how they'll remember you.
The Recruitment Mentors podcast is proudly sponsored by Vincherry and the award-winning Sourcebreaker.